Okay, now let's try another routine. You wake up in the morning. Before you get up from bed, you look up, close your eyes, and just be grateful for life. You're grateful for the air that you breathe, for your functioning body that you can even just get up, you can see. And then no phones at this time yet. You play some soothing music that just gets you in the space of gratitude, deep gratitude, and some level of meditation. After you're done with that, you come down from your bed, you get up, you wear your exercise clothes, you go into a space, or you go for a walk, 20 minutes walk. And as you're going for this 20 minutes walk, you have your headphones on, you're listening to a nice podcast, maybe from Mind Valley, something that is going to teach you something, right? Or a book, for example. There's so many audiobooks. I love audiobooks. I have about 100 and something downloaded on my phone that I listen to all the time. So you listen to that. And then you come back home feeling refreshed and energized. And then you go into the shower, have a nice warm or cold bath, depending on how you like to have your showers. And you just are in the zones of power. And then you get ready to show the world your brilliance and your beauty. You get into the car. Okay, there's a little bit of traffic, but you can put on your earplugs and listen to a nice song that just puts you, enjoying the traffic, because you can enjoy it eventually. Or you're listening to a book and you're doing these oohs and ahs, or you're listening to a podcast. You spent 1 hour, invested that 1 hour traffic time to put something inside you, deposit something that is great inside you. By this time, you're maybe clocking 9 o'clock and you get to the office. How do you think your energy is by the time you're getting to the office with both routines? I promise you, 90, maybe 80% of the people who live are doing the first routine. And so they're frustrated, they're depressed, they're angry, they're afraid, they're anxious. There's so much going on within them. They're not well, they're physically sick, then they're mentally sick because they haven't fed themselves anything good. But then imagine this next set of people who have this powerful morning routine. Now, if you want to take it to the next level, you also have a night routine where before you sleep, you lie down. I write love letters to myself or whoever I choose to at the end of the day. Sometimes I just sit down in gratitude. If something happened during the day that I didn't like, I reframe it and put it in the way that I wanted that day to end, so that I can set myself up for good sleep, so that I can set myself up for waking up in such a beautiful state. Because how you sleep is how you will wake up. And you find people who sleep angry and they wake up and that anger never left. They pick up from there and continue in that space. Nobody is worth that in my life anymore. Nobody, no human being is worth that. So I sleep so well. Sometimes I even take a shot of melatonin or some magnesium so that it will relax my body so well and I can have my 7 to 8 hours beauty sleep. What's your routine like? So I want you today to create a personal, powerful ritual or routine that you follow in the mornings to set yourself up for a beautiful day. Some days, I don't write the things that I want to achieve during the day. And I find myself all over the place. I'm scattered. But when I get into the office with this attitude, sit down, bring out, or before I even get to the office, sometimes I write it the night before. I take out my notebook and write down 6, 7, 8 things that I want to achieve the following day. What happens is that I'm spot on. I sit down on my table, open my book, okay, this done, this done, this done, this done, halfway. This, I will move it to tomorrow's tasks. And I find a lot of clarity from there. What are you going to do today? What are you going to do? What are you going to do today? Because discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishments. You first need to make a decision and then you need to add discipline to it. And discipline is just doing something that you have commanded yourself to do, whether you like it or not. It's a no matter what situation. So you want to create something every morning. Some people say, but I don't have time. I wake up, I have to look after my children. Before you do those children, before you set the children up for their own day, if you have to wake up 10 minutes earlier, 10 minutes earlier, then go to sleep 10 minutes earlier so that you can get that extra 10 minutes to wake up in the morning. And I promise you, if you sit down with me, I'll tell you where you can steal back a lot of time that you think you do not have. Because a lot of us spend at least 3 hours on social media every day. 3 hours just scrolling mindlessly on Instagram. 3 hours. By the time you have Instagram, 30 minutes, Snapchat, 1 hour, TikTok, 30 minutes, Facebook, 30 minutes, LinkedIn, 45. That's 5 hours easily gone. But you can steal back. Your Netflix and chill, I'll be good. But are you going to spend every day on Netflix, watching 10 episode series that is 1 hour each, and then you say you don't have time to set up your day for your own success? I know we can do better. So what have I said today around self-pity? And what are the things that you can do to help yourself? The first thing I said was, let's do a little recap. Recognize that you are the one spinning that self-pity wheel. It's you projecting it onto yourself. Nobody's doing it onto you. And you can, since you are the one that is doing it, you can stop it. You have the power. And if you don't, send me a DM, I'll help you. Then stop the comparison game. See it as, oh, I like this. I mean, I will like this. And rather than turn it into something that will kill you over, why not turn it into something that it can become a burning desire for you? That you then have definitiveness of purpose. That word always is a tongue twister, but I like it. You have the definitiveness of purpose and you go for it, right? The next thing is trade why me to change why me. That question, why me? To what's next for me, or what do I really want? The next point is to rewrite your inner script and start to create the script knowing that the results that you want to eventually have is positive. And it all starts with the thoughts that you think. And finally, you want to surround yourself, create a powerful ritual. You want to create a powerful ritual. And let me add one last tip. You are the average of the 5 people you spend time with, which then means that if you have 4 foolish friends, you didn't count well. You are the 5th one. And if you have 4 wise friends, you also didn't count well because you are the 5th one, and they will draw you to your greatness. If you have friends who are consistently complaining, you have friends who are consistently miserable, you have friends who drain the living daylight out of you, and friends plus family is not just friends. You have friends who just cannot see the best of anything but only see the worst out of everything. You have friends who will tell you all the things that cannot work and will not work, but there's nothing about the things that will work because they don't see it. You have friends who are consistently in the dustbin, in the gutter, just always miserable. You've surrounded yourself with the wrong people because they will never help you achieve the desire of you wanting to master yourself. It will always be someone else's fault. You will never take responsibility. You will keep suffering in the place that you are because pain might be inevitable, but suffering is a choice. And so you have chosen to continue suffering just by hanging out with people who are suffering just like you. What can you do today? Find people like me in your circle who only see the cup half full. And even if it's half empty, so what? So what? Find people like me who will call you to your greatness regardless of what you see yourself as. Find people like me who are doing well so that you can keep aspiring to want to do well and better and better. You want to surround yourself with those people. Because the time I didn't have physical friends at all my friends were my teachers. Because if you ask me, who are the 5 people you spend time with? I'll tell you Tony Robbins, I'll tell you Lisa Nichols, I'll tell you Dean Grace. And they're all my teachers. I'd never met them physically. And they called me to my greatness. They challenged me to my greatness. And so I kept on growing, and I'm still keeping on growing because they're still challenging me to that place. But if you find yourself as the highest, the best in your circle, you're in the wrong circles. Because now you need to you have outgrown that circle. You now need a circle where all the people there are bigger than you, so that you can keep being inspired to your greatness. It's so bad that if in your office space, if the people that sit around you are drifters, if the people that sit around you are non-starters, if the people that sit around you have no focus and no goal in life, I promise you, in no time you'll fall into that category. It happened to me. I had to break myself off certain things and say, no, I'm cutting off. I'm not going to be part of these conversations anymore. I started I have earphones around my ear and all the time. Once I hear that they're having a call, I just put my earplugs in and I just continue what I'm doing. I've blocked myself out completely from the conversations because I started to realize that, something is going on here. And I promise you, it's happening to you too. So look around with the people that you spend the most time with. Do they add more energy to you, or do they take away even the small that you're still trying to bring up away from you? That's my extra tip that I'm going to share around this. That journey of self, in fact, I actually call it the journey back to self. Starts with you just saying, you know what, self, Adeola, we're going to do different. We're going to do better. And make that decision to do better today. And if you really need help, and I needed help. I couldn't have been who I am today without all the help that I've had and still having. If you do need help to call you to your greatness, because remember I said I ignite the greatness within people. Just in case you don't know that there's greatness within you, come. Send us a DM today. Just send us a DM today saying, I need to talk. And we'll be right there with you. And we'll help you, call you to your greatness so that you can live it today. Hi there, my name is Adeola Kingsley James. I hope these videos really are doing what I want them to do for you, which is help you take action. And you've got to take action today, right? Click the link below, click the notification bell, click the subscribe button, share me with other people. That's action, right? If you share me with other people, it means that you and your community are growing together. You're not the only one growing. Imagine a world where everybody becomes a happy person and every place becomes a happy place. My name is Adeola Kingsley James once again. Love and light.